The New START Treaty, the only remaining nuclear arms limitation agreement between Russia and the United States, officially lapsed on February 5th. The deal, which entered force in 2010, limited both countries to 1,550 deployed strategic nuclear warheads and 700 deployed strategic nuclear delivery systems. The treaty also gave both countries the opportunity to conduct 18 on-site inspections each year, though these have not occurred in years due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In September 2025, Russian President Vladimir Putin said his government was ready to abide by the treaty's numerical limits, though not to grant US inspections for an additional year. Despite initially reacting positively to the suggestion, US President Donald Trump ultimately did not take Putin up on the offer. The United States and Russia together possess approximately 90% of all nuclear weapons, with the total US and Russian inventory reaching over 5,000 weapons. In addition to the amount each side was allowed to deploy under New START, each has many more in a larger inventory that includes weapons in storage. America's main reason for not extending the treaty is because it wants to bring China into any future nuclear arms control deal. But Beijing has shown no appetite to set limits on its nuclear capabilities. The other nuclear powers have all taken steps in recent years to expand their arsenals, develop new delivery systems, and improve the capabilities of nuclear-capable missiles. It would seem a new nuclear free-for-all is looming. Millions of files relating to Jeffrey Epstein were released this week, providing further insight into the network of the disgraced US financer. The documents, released by the US Department of Justice, contained private emails, images, and FBI reports into the late sex offender. Famous names that appear in the files include Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Bill Clinton. The dominant tone from the global media has been restrained. The files confirmed the scale of Epstein's abuse network and how systematically victims were trafficked and silenced. But they did not deliver a clean, smoking gun implicating major public figures in prosecutable crimes. A strong theme has also been institutional breakdown, especially in liberal and centre-left press. Why Epstein avoided justice for so long despite repeated warnings. The 2008 plea deal is routinely described as a miscarriage of justice enabled by elite privilege. Law enforcement, prosecutors, and political gatekeepers are portrayed as either negligent or compromised. Several outlets framed Epstein less as an anomaly and more as a symptom of elite impunity, a pattern, not a one-off. What we know is Epstein ran a large-scale abuse operation. He was enabled by wealth, access, and legal protection, and the justice system failed repeatedly. Speculation over Epstein's links to Israel and Israeli intelligence remain, as a number of documents reveal collaboration and coordination. What this round of revelations reveal is, what was long considered conspiracy is slowly turning into facts. This week, delegations from Russia, Ukraine, and the United States held a second round of trilateral talks, which resulted in a reciprocal exchange of 314 prisoners of war. All three sides described the talks as constructive and productive, saying discussions focused on mechanisms to implement and monitor a ceasefire, unresolved territorial issues, and possible security arrangements for Ukraine. Following the talks, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said discussions would continue and indicated that the next round of negotiations would likely be hosted by the United States. While Russia has not abandoned any of its maximalist goals, Russia insists that Ukraine must withdraw its forces from the Donbass and that the region should be internationally recognized as Russian territory. While diplomatic contacts will likely continue, their impact will remain limited unless changes on the battlefield or in US pressure alter the underlying balance shaping Russia's and Ukraine's negotiating positions. As we fast approach the 4-year anniversary of the war, the US brokered talks will likely continue and will deliver limited confidence-building steps. They are unlikely to produce a near-term settlement, as Russia will continue to press its territorial demands while using diplomacy to manage sanctions pressure and build leverage ahead of its next offensive.